It's time to answer your questions again. Q&A number 2 coming up. Hello and welcome back to the Freelanceverse. So this is going to be the second Q&A video on this channel. If you haven't seen the first one, I'm going to link it up here in an info card, or you can also find it in the description. In the first video I mentioned that I want to do these kind of community videos every 2 months more or less. And I think when this goes out it will be exactly 2 months, so that worked out. And a lot happened since the last video, so we really grew the community a lot. I think by the time of filming we are on 85 subscribers. It really goes quite fast now. We get a subscriber almost every day. Thanks so much for everyone helping out. Same as in the last video, I picked a few questions. So if your question didn't make it in the vid, that doesn't mean that your question was irrelevant or not valid or something. It just means that maybe it wasn't suited to go in a video. It was very specific for you probably and not for the community. As always, I'm going to pop them on the screen, read them off my phone and then answer them for you. So let's get right into it with question number 1. So the first question is from Lucas, a good friend of mine. He says, "Hey Adi, I imagine that as a freelancer it is quite important to have good relationships with business partners. How do you foster your relations with your major clients, direct clients and agencies?" So this is a very good question. Of course you need to foster a good relationship with your clients if you want to be more successful in the long run and be sustainably successful, right? And so my number one thing, I mentioned this in my previous video about negative feedback, my number one approach is being honest and open and approachable basically. So what I want to communicate is to my client is that I'm a freelancer, I'm my own business, I'm not part of a big corporation, so I am the number one contact person for you as a business, right? So if anything is up, anything whatsoever, you can just contact me and I will answer honestly and openly. Another approach that I'm trying to take is how I write my emails. If you are just a bit more casual, a bit more open and honest, maybe sometimes make a joke, sometimes be a bit, I don't know, cheeky, say something funny, kind of breaks out of the normal business world and you get some funny reactions. Like just break out a little bit so you can stand out to someone that then will remember you. Second question is from Marco, again a friend of mine. Really supportive friend, thank you very much. So he commented under the last Q&A video and I asked please write more questions so I can make a new one. And he simply said, what made you take the decision to become a freelancer? What I told Marco is, yeah, basically what really made me take the decision was just the need for money, right? I just needed to buy groceries. I talked about this in my very first video, how I moved to the Netherlands to do a master's degree there and I had some money saved from my previous job in Zurich. So I would have been able to just stick through it with the money I had saved and then find a decent job afterwards. But during my master's I got really worried. I'm very worried about money in general, so when I see that the money is only going down and nothing's coming in, it's not a good feeling and I just thought I need to try something. Like, why not? I have time, like the master's was full-time but still I had quite some free time to try something. And then it clicked and I started just signing up for all these platforms like Probst.com that I always mention, and just magically, probably the same week or even just the day after or something, someone wrote me, a diving agency from Ukraine, and then I just kept going and I started building it and I made use of my connections from home, and then I thought, okay, I'm just gonna do this part-time while I study. And after my studies, I had it built to an extent where I could say, yeah, if I put all my eggs in one basket, I'm gonna make this work. I will have my freedom that I always wanted and just try at least a few years to be a freelancer. And since then, I'm still trying and I'm still making it work. Thanks for the question. Third question comes from Sukasi or Shukasi, not sure. He or she wrote, I'm currently majoring in English and my plan is applying for a translation school after. But the thing is, no one hires because I don't have experience or a degree yet. But thank you for the video. It actually taught me a lot of what's to come in my journey. Okay, not really a question, but just a very interesting comment, I think. The person says that they are majoring in English and then they want to apply for a translation school. So I think majoring in English means that he's in college or maybe in undergrad or something. and then he wants to go to a translation school. So it's definitely a good approach to major in English and just make sure your English is on point. Like also in public comments like this one, make sure that you revise everything. If you want to become a translator, everything that goes out on the internet should be more or less spotless, because someone can always find your stuff online, right? And then don't forget to start already while you are majoring in English, while you are translating. Because you say no one hires because you don't have experience. But that's on you, right? You can get easily experience. Like even if you translate for free, go to a corporation that does. There is, for example, the TED language translators. You can translate TED Talks into your native language and make them public on the TEDx network. This is a volunteering job. You don't get paid for that, but you can specifically use it as an experience in your CV. I also have this, if you check my LinkedIn, I have 2 volunteering options in my LinkedIn. One is TED German team and one is Translators Without Borders. For both of these I worked when I started out, because there's only benefits, right? You help people in need and you get experience, and it's really interesting. Usually these jobs that you do there are really interesting. And also start your own freelancing business. Sign up for all the platforms you can, do as many jobs as you can, and use them as experience. And also exaggerate a bit, you know? If you work for a couple of clients for a year, even if it's just a few jobs, you have a year of experience, you know? Make it work for yourself. Don't complain that no one hires because you don't have experience. Start for yourself. Do something for it, right? Next up is Shadow Balefrost. Now Shadow is actually a very active member of the community. I'm really grateful for him. He sent me a couple of Portuguese translations to subtitles for my videos to upload them. So if you ever see a Portuguese subtitle, if you ever see that, it's probably from him. And his question was, as being a translator as well, I consider this video really instructive, although I found myself in another situation. Oh, this was about the feedback basically. What about a no feedback case? I've done some work as a translator but didn't manage to get any feedback. Could you do a video on that, please? I probably won't do a video on it, Shadow, simply because it wouldn't last very long. It would be quite a boring video, I think. But what I can tell you is over the years I've learned that no feedback means good feedback. People don't generally have the time, or they don't want to give you feedback if they're happy with it. It happens that if you are more personally in touch with a client, you maybe have calls with them once a month, or just a bit more than your normal email connection, then you will get feedback. But that's more general overall. They might say, yeah, we really appreciate your work, or it's actually really cool to have you here as a contact point, or when I work in a few teams with other translators and the client in our monthly call, they usually say, hey, we are really grateful for you, keep it up, keep going. This kind of feedback you will get, but individual job by job feedback, if it's positive, it's quite rare. It needs to be really top, it needs to be on point and perfect, that they say, hey, this was really exceptional. And if you get that, celebrate it, because it's rare. In general, no feedback means good feedback. Thank you for that question. Next we have, that's a very short one, and again from Sukashi. My one question, is there a way to get connects for free on Upwork, because I ran out? Now, I included this in this video more because maybe the community can help this person, because I have no idea about Upwork. I asked him, is Connect something like a currency on Upwork, maybe like on LinkedIn when you have certain amount of emails you can send out? That's all I can imagine. And if there is really a restriction, I don't think you can get them for free, because that's probably their business model. You probably need to purchase them. Maybe someone can give this person a tip in the comments. Let me know if you know something about connects on Upwork. Next is from Adrian. If I was a freelancer, I like to imagine that I always do getaways. That's on my Stay Motivated video. Like work 1 month from the beach in one country, 1 month at home, 1 month away again. Do you think this is realistic? Obviously money reasons are to be considered, but other than that. Beautiful question, and yes, of course it's realistic. I know people who do this regularly. They're basically in the summer they are here in Europe, in the winter they are in Latin America or in Southeast Asia where it's warmer, you know. So that's definitely realistic. You just need to kind of figure out your life. Like, is this really something you want to do, you can do? I get this asked over and over again from people, why I don't work from there, why I don't live in Fiji and Bali and stuff. And yeah, it's something to consider for sure. It's just me personally. It's not something I crave. It's not something that interests me really. I think if I were to do that, I would feel my life being quite fake. I don't know if you can relate. Like, I recently read an article in a Wired magazine of all these digital natives that do dropshipping in Bali, and yeah, they have this beautiful life, but is it really real? It doesn't really feel real. It feels kind of fake. You're in this bubble of other people doing the same thing. You don't really have real connections. People probably come and go all the time. So what I like to do is when I go to a nice place, I like to do holidays. I'm not a fan of going somewhere for a long time and working there. I do getaways, like I mentioned in my Stay Motivated video. I do go to the beach for a few days working there. I do go to Switzerland working there, Hungary, etc. But yeah, it's definitely something to consider. Just make sure that you are registered somewhere, that everything is official, right? Don't just travel around and not being settled somewhere officially with your papers, because then you can get in trouble later on about taxes and stuff. So make sure you pay your taxes and don't just neglect that. Because it's easy, right? If you say I'm not living anywhere, I don't need to pay taxes. That's not really how it works. You need to have an official center of living, I don't know if that's the word in English, somewhere, and that's where you pay taxes. And the last question is from LVC456. Maybe it's Lucas in a funny spelling. Hi, I speak Spanish and I'm willing to take the challenge to translate on Fiverr. Is it possible to have any problems by not being able to do the job properly? I don't have any problem getting the money back if I'm not able to do it, but is it possible to at least try? Okay, so what this person means is, what are kind of the implications? If so, are there legal implications if you can't do the job properly on Fiverr? Now, I don't think there are. The only thing that, as this person already mentions, the client could ask the money back if the translation is really bad, right? I think that's the only real implication, and if you then are willing to give the money back, if then nothing can happen, right? But of course the client can ask the money back even though your translation was good, and then it can get tricky, because then you have to say, no, I don't give you the money back, my translation was valid, your points are subjective. But yeah, no, not really for, these small amounts, like on Fiverr, the translation is probably like $5 or maximum $10, $20, $30. No one would probably take legal actions for that. That's just not worth it. So I don't think anything can happen to you personally. Just make sure you do your best. Even be open and honest with the client if you are not able to do this translation, if it's too technical for you, if you don't feel confident, let them know. Tell them, either you just want to practice, you want to get experience, you can maybe do it for free, or tell them this is not something I'm comfortable with. I do this all the time, by the way. I don't think that all I'm asked to do, I do, right? I get emails almost every day, can you do this? And I just have to say no. Like electrotechnical field, for example, I just recently got a big request, and I was tempted to make an offer because it was really big and really lucrative, but I just felt like it's not right. Like I'm not experienced, I'm not trained in high voltage, like electrical lines and stuff, so I have to say no, I'm sorry, this is not something for me. Please consider when it's something in my specialization or it's a more general field. And if that's again an approach, open and honest, right? They will know, okay, he's honest to us, so whenever he accepts a job, he will know what he's doing, and he's honest with us if he doesn't know what he's doing. So yeah, you can easily try on Fiverr, see if it works, if you are if you make more money than I did. But again, I only tried 1 week, so oh, by the way, just a little update on that Fiverr account. It got deleted because I wasn't active enough. So yeah, it's now on pause. So there won't be another update video, but I really want to try it on Upwork and see if I can figure out these connects as well. That's it. These are all my questions of today. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to ask more questions in the comments, so in 2 months I can make a new one. 2 months is Christmas, I just realized. Wow. And also let me know if you enjoy these kind of community videos. I think it's really fun. I love this growing thing, and I now get a lot of messages actually, also on LinkedIn and emails. So it really feels like I can build something here. Thanks for being a part of it. Consider to subscribe and like the video. It means a lot actually. It helps me out. It gets me into the recommended algorithms. And yeah, thanks for watching. I see you next week. Bye bye.